Hey guys, my name is Ruxandra and this is UT Journeys, the podcast where we invite ambitious students and hear more about their student life, extracurriculars, and most importantly, how you can enhance your study journey. In this episode, I'm talking to Youssef, an international master student that is deep into Dutch culture. He will share his trip to the Waddenzee during Waddenlab 2024 and how living on campus improved his university experience. We will also talk about his involvement in Hippocampus, the horseback riding association, and also in GreenHub, and his job at the Quality Assurance Committee of Mechanical Engineering, where he played a role in gathering feedback to improve course quality and student experiences. So, let's get to know him. Hi Youssef, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's very nice to be here as well. It's the first time for me, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're learning together.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, as I just said before, you're a mechanical engineering master student, and you also did your bachelor's at UT.
Yeah, that's correct.
I also heard that you obtained a scholarship for your master's.
Yes, I did. The university gave me a scholarship for pursuing my master's here based on some activism and doing well in my studies in the bachelor's. So, yeah.
Is this scholarship accessible to UT students normally?
Okay, so a bit about the scholarship. I think on the website it's the UTS scholarship. So I think you can see it on the uni's website. It is technically, officially on the website says that it's not to be given to UT graduates. So if you do your bachelor's here, you can't apply for it. But last year and this year and maybe the year before, I'm not sure. The faculties started to do this by basically retaining one of those scholarships for one international one non-European student in the program. So to make it for example, each faculty has 10 scholarships, right? That they're gonna give out. They're going to retain one per program. So what happened was that I know some a friend of mine a year above that also got this scholarship, and I asked him about it, how do you apply for it and stuff like that, and he told me, and it's basically done through my study advisor. I think they want to formalize the process later this year or maybe next year, but that's how it is. I just went had a chat with my study advisor. I knew about it, and I just sent her a motivation letter and my transcripts and what I've done, and yeah, I got awarded the scholarship to study here.
Nice, very nice. You said your scholarship was awarded based on activism as well?
Yeah, so it's mostly, I don't want to say mostly activism, but it was based on both activism and, of course, having good grades, finishing nominally in 3 years, so not having too many study delays for whatever reason, yeah.
I know you are part of GreenHub as well. Could you briefly tell us what GreenHub is and its primary mission?
Well, yes, I did work for GreenHub last year, so last academic year, to be more precise. And GreenHub is what it was. It was basically like the central hub for most, if not all, not all, but most of the sustainability initiatives that happen within the uni, right? It was student-led, or it was mostly students, but it had one full-time coordinator in it. And where I came in was in the year that I joined, they started branching out. So there's one central hub located in Bastille, and there's the students work, a great team that's working there. But then in last year, what they wanted to do was to branch out to the faculty. So they wanted to form some kind of mini teams within each faculty, so they have more access to the intricacies of each faculty. And that's basically where I came. So I was the research and education officer within the ET faculty.
I see. And what were your responsibilities as research and education officer?
So yeah, everything that had to do with research and education. Mostly, I tried to focus a bit more on education. Projects. We came up with different projects at the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, it ended up we're doing, of course, realism hits, and then you do. We did less projects, but what we aimed at doing was to kind of formalize a foundation for the ET faculty team for later years to come and build on that. Now, the unfortunate bit is that because of UT budget cuts, there's no more ET faculty at GreenHub. So it kind of feels like most of our work is just done for nothing, but I'm still optimistic that our findings through some of our work, the teachers know it, the faculty know it, the staff know it, and they're hopefully going to build upon it.
So basically, if I understand correctly, the branching that was done last year is no longer existent.
Well, GreenHub in general
GreenHub, yes,
is still existing until the end of 2024 because that's their budget. But for the future, it's a bit uncertain. I'm not sure yet. I'm not updated on it yet. But what I know is that the ET, like the smaller teams, had also a bit of trouble. And I think the ET faculty is not continuing, at least for the near future, for the foreseeable future. Maybe stuff changes. I really hope so, because it's such a great initiative. But what I know, it's not.
Yeah, the situation is very unfortunate. I was not realizing that the budget cuts are also affecting like student-led associations and.
Yeah, it's affecting everything. It's a bit tough. If it affects TAs and less student jobs, then obviously it's going to affect stuff like that. And it's the unfortunate truth that usually the sustainability initiatives are usually the first things that are cut down whenever financial crises happen. But that's how it is.
Which shouldn't be the case, obviously.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, but it's what happens. You see it everywhere, not just at the uni. You see it everywhere. Yeah.
About your scholarship, you also mentioned that you needed to have good grades.
Yeah.
I also know that you graduated honors.
Yeah.
We have previously talked about honors several times on this podcast, but we have not really talked about side events or activities from honors and from OCAM, the Honors Association.
Okay.
You previously told me that you were a participant in Waddenlab 2024.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that event?
Yeah. So the amazing thing about honors and doing honors at the uni is that it's a very I don't want to say exclusive network. It sounds such like a website kind of thing.
Sounds very pompous.
Yeah, but it offers you a lot of really nice opportunities. And one of these opportunities is that I think around now, like the UT Honors Office sends out an ad for a certain kind of trip that happens in the summer. That's for honors students all over the Netherlands. So, and basically this trip it's a sailing trip, which is amazing. And they offer an opportunity for students, as I said, from all over the Netherlands to join that trip. And the theme of it is the Waddenzee. So maybe for the internationals listening to the podcast that don't know the geography of the Netherlands, but the northwestern part of the Netherlands, there's the Waddenzee. And this is a UNESCO heritage site because it's the biggest intertidal zone. So during low tide there, it's a sea, kind of, but during the low tide there, you can walk on the seabed, which is really, really nice. And there's specific types of boats that sail there that have specific shape and they have a specific hull geometry and stuff like that because it's so shallow in there as well. And basically the trip takes place in the summer. You meet people from all over the Netherlands, as I said, and you have to come up kind of with design some workshops that you do and they're all related to the Waddenzee health and the environment there. It's very nice. It's a very nice experience. I mean, you have to try it out to get what I'm saying, but yeah, it's basically a sailing trip at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's really a shame that I didn't participate in this program, honestly.
Yeah.
When it was time. It feels like it incorporates a lot of also geography, as you said. I didn't know where the Waddenzee was and what happened there. But also like maybe sustainability as well.
Yeah, a bit, of course. I mean, you're very conscious there of the environment because it's like there's obviously recreational activities happening there, but you also have to be very conscious. We went island hopping, and we didn't get to see all 5 or 4 islands, I believe. We went to 2 different ones because, it's there's also a lot of uncertainty because it's sailing and you don't know how the wind is, so you don't know where you're going the next day. So this is also a really nice thing. But we visited 2 of the islands, namely Terschelling and Vlieland. And they're very different. I mean, Vlieland as an island, it's very small. For example, you can't have a car there unless you live on the island, and it's so small, it's basically one street, kind of with all the stores. It's a really nice beginning to the summer of your summer and end of your year. You get to do something fun, but also a bit more. You learn a lot, basically.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other learning opportunities, I feel like this is
the
way
most
more
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most fun out of it.
Like even the sailing experience, I don't think a lot of people have the chance to like go sailing.
Yeah. It's like I've been into sailing since I went on that trip. It's one of my goals right now to get a boat when I grow up.
You should.
If I can.
You should go on a cruise by yourself.
Nah, not a cruise. I just want to sail.
Yeah, I just want to sail.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You seem very knowledgeable in Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
Like even from the way you pronounce words, but I also know you speak Dutch.
Yeah, I try to.
But I know for a fact you didn't necessarily take a course. Is that correct? You learned from being around Dutch people. Yeah.
So I attribute my Dutch skills. They're not the greatest. I think I'm a bit above the B1 level right now. But I attribute it most to the fact that I live on campus in one of the Dutch houses. I mean, we're a mixed house. There's a bunch of internationals. But I think every international housemate that I have, their Dutch is about the same level as mine or even a bit more. Like one of my housemates, she's been living in the Netherlands for 10 years now. I think she did the C1 level, which that's basically you're proficient in the language. So I consider myself mostly in a Dutch house. But I also took courses. So the uni offers some courses. They're really nice. They're an excellent opportunity for you to get access to material. You get access to support. And it's a really nice also kind of commitment that you have to stick with so that you can practice it.
I actually just signed up this module for a Dutch course and I just dropped it off.
Yeah, it's sometimes to be like they happen like in the evenings, so you can. But as I said, living on campus, I was a bit lucky. To be honest, and I hope the teachers don't listen to this, but I didn't put any effort into the courses, and I just passed because I was already beyond that level because of how much I was exposed to it at home. But I had to do this just to formalize it in terms of I have a certificate now that says I reached this level.
I mean, I guess that's fine, as long as you attend and you have a good portfolio,
I did attend the classes and I did try to participate. But like they say, oh, you have to do this amount of effort at home and study and do this. I didn't do that.
You're a special case.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who are very good at the languages as well there. So
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. About living on campus, there are not so many international students internationals as in from the European Union and outside that get a chance to live on the university campus. Yeah. Would you say that it enhanced your study experience?
Definitely. I think it is very difficult to find housing in the whole of the Netherlands. Enschede is not any different case. I think it's a bit easier than maybe places in the Randstad, but yeah. Definitely living on campus enhanced my experience. I tried living on campus the first year as a non-European student. I got like opportunity to stay on campus. I was in a studio, so it was a bit lonely. It wasn't the best. I also tried living in the city center. It was not a great experience. But other other problems with the house. But all in all, it was nice to be in the city and stuff. But when I came back to campus, it was one of the best things that had happened during my study times, right? It was a turning event. First of all, I got to just make new friends by living with them. It was such an excellent group, and it helps you integrate a lot into society. I feel like I know a lot more about the Dutch society because I've lived into one. And those people are just not your housemates that you see over dinner or something. I mean, you have dinner together during weekdays, except Fridays. We travel together every year at least once, and even after like beyond that, sometimes we organize trips over the winter or the summer. I mean, some of them are visiting me in Egypt this year. It's a really nice experience. They help. Like, I mean, there's other mechanical engineering students that live with me, and they're a bit older, they're more experienced. They help me sometimes with my studies. All in all, it's a very nice experience to have, to try to live on campus. I mean, yeah, people who haven't are missing out.
Are you also involved in any student associations?
Yes, I have been part of Hippocampus. Hippocampus is the horse riding association of the uni. A lot of people don't know that we have that. It's just behind campus, so it's not as visible as other sports like football or hockey or something like that. But we do have a horse riding association on uni. I've been a member of this association since June 2022, and currently I am the candidate board, soon to be board after October 16th, hopefully, if the GMA goes well.
Congratulations, you
Thank
must
you.
be excited.
Yeah, it's a really nice opportunity to learn. I'm going to be the treasurer, so I'm handling the finances and the overview of everything. It is a really nice opportunity, I think so.
I think it's going to give you some very good experience on finance and stuff like that, like how to handle your own money as well.
Yeah, definitely. I learn a lot. I'm just we're going through with this bookkeeping website, and I'm learning all about that, and I'm learning about how to set up like a financial plan for the next year. Preparing myself, knowing that this plan is not going to be as accurate as I want it to be, and it is very nice. It's also running an association in general is really. I mean, it's not an individual effort, of course. I have the whole board with me, but all in all, it's a very nice opportunity to, again, also maybe know Dutch people more, because that's how they make friends, right? They go to associations and they meet people from their sport, or
Yeah, I have never actually thought about that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, how do you make friends when you're a grown-up, right? When we were kids, it just happens. But when you grow up, it's kind of more difficult, and that's one way to do it.
I don't know. I guess my study was having a higher workload than I was expecting, and also when I had joined honors, I was just kind of making friends. At least in my study, they were making us being grouped with random people.
Yeah.
So like in the first year, you never choose your teammates.
Yeah, I mean that. Also, I had the same thing, right? That's the nice thing about the project-led education. I think that's what's the official name or something.
Suppose.
Yeah, they just put you in random groups and you have to work. I mean, not always it's perfect. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, this is gonna be tough. But sometimes it's really nice, especially with the first group that you do. And of course, the kick-in also helps a lot with making friends.
It really helps you learn how to collaborate with different people. Yeah.
It is very valuable to learn to work in teams. I mean, that's how you're going to work later on.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit more about Hippocampus, mainly the activities that you have, for example, if you have competitions or such?
Okay. We have a riding lesson every Thursday. So the manege or the arena that we ride, or the stables, they're right behind campus. We go there every Thursday. We have a riding lesson. Sometimes we do dressage, or sometimes once in a month, I believe. We have a jumping lesson as well. If you want to be more competitive, so to say, you can also ride bi-weekly on Tuesdays as well. And there you're part of the performance team. Funnily enough, Hippocampus is one of the older associations on uni. I think we were established in 1965. I'm currently going to be the 60th board, so it's quite an old association. And we do have sister associations all over the Netherlands, and so we have like SO weekends. That's what they're called. So we go to them, and maybe we do a competition there, and they also come to us at some point. We have a competition here, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Other than the competitions with the sister associations, do you also have any other sort of competitions, like maybe national ones? I'm just asking.
Um, I'm not very sure how it goes. I know there's also club championships within the stable itself. Um, I'm not very sure. We have a competition commissioner. She knows a lot more about this. Also, because I was very busy in my bachelor's, I wasn't as active in Hippocampus. Right now, I also took this as an opportunity to become more active in the association. So I'm still learning a bit about it. But I do believe we have other competitions. I think so. We also sometimes have just activities like for Christmas, for example. We have one day where we ride and like a Christmas themed, and it is very fun. I mean, you could get very creative with doing stuff like that.
Yeah, this year you should do it for Halloween.
Yeah,
dress your horses in ghosts.
Scary stuff. Skeleton horse. Yeah, we can. It's a nice idea. Maybe.
If you have time, I don't know how you'd make a horse costume, but that's for you to find out.
Horses do wear blankets, and especially when we take them outside. Because sometimes I forgot to mention that during the summer, I think this is my favorite activity is that we take them outside in the forest. So the forest right behind campus, we just take the horses there. Yeah.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah. Maybe I'll join myself.
Well, you better join the association then.
Okay. You also told me that you are part of the Quality Assurance Committee of ET.
Of the mechanical engineering.
Of the mechanical.
Yeah.
And if I know correctly, those are the people that send us the surveys.
Yeah, the annoying people, right?
I wouldn't call them annoying, but...
Well, yeah, they're not annoying. Yes, so at the end of each module, you receive a survey to assess the quality of the course. And yeah, I'm part of this committee, so to say. I've been working there for the whole of last year. I was responsible for sending surveys for courses in the ME, but mostly I was focusing also on the VU, so the Vrije Universiteit in Amsterdam. Because the mechanical program there is part of the UT, so I was assessing their courses. And the idea is that, we basically send a survey at the end of each module. And this survey is done in collaboration with the professor. So we just, I email the professor, ask them what they want to, if there's something specific that they want to know about. And then we send out the survey to the students. And we get the results back. And then we write a report. We send this report to the teachers. So the teachers also see all the feedback from the students. And then, there's a score, I think, or something like that. And then it's published on the UT website.
It is?
Yeah, it is published on the UT website. Yeah, all the results. The more, so if you, especially in the masters, it's really important. Like in the bachelor's, I can see that, it's not the best thing, but in the masters, it's really beneficial because you select all your courses in the masters. So what you can do is that you can go on the website, you check the course that you want to do, see what the previous reports are. So what the students thought of this course, what are the comments and stuff like that. And like in this report, the teacher responds to the comments. So you can see even like the lecturer's response to what his response to the feedback from the students. I'm gonna be fully honest. I was also very annoyed with those emails when I did my bachelor's, but recently we've also been changing how we do it. I don't know if you've I know for sure it's in ME, but I don't know if you've noticed it in your studies. But you've been receiving less of those surveys. So what we've done is that we changed the frequency of how many times a course is assessed. And that means that you will receive less emails. So every module, I think you receive on average only 2 surveys.
I actually last module, so quarter 4 of last year, I did an internship. So that was not like an actual course, and I did not receive anything like that. Unfortunately, I don't remember how it is for us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all about the same, but I only know for mechanical that for example, for the master's course, so the course is evaluated once every 2 years now. And for the bachelor's, it's also kind of alternating. So you don't get like, let's say if you have in one module like 3 courses in a project, you won't get like 4 emails and then 4 reminder emails after 2 weeks. And it's not the case anymore. You just get way less, not way less, but you get like 1 or 2 maximum per module. What I would recommend is that people do fill it in, because this is really important. It's the biggest struggle that we have right now is that sometimes we don't get enough response rates. But what's the case is that this is really important. Teachers do look at it, and I think at the end of each year, it's even like the program committee looks at it. And for example, if a course scored low, it has to be assessed again next year. And the feedback is taken into account as well for next year. So it is really important. And as I said, it's also especially important for master's students because they can look at the courses that they want to enroll for beforehand and see what the previous year's students thought of it.
Yeah,
so
I think that's also helpful for bachelor students because they are choosing electives, for example.
Yeah, for the minors as well. Yeah, that's true.
And how would you know? Like if you're asking one of your friends, maybe your friend, like they have a subjective experience, but
yeah, that's true. It is very nice in that regard. I agree.
I think it would have been useful when I chose my minors. I mean, not that I don't like my minors, but to make an informed choice.
Yeah, also I agree. Oh.
Okay. How can students like reach this opportunity? How did you apply exactly? Is it did someone approach you, or did you apply somewhere to be part of the Quality Assurance Committee?
I think it was just a job posting. I think so.
Yes.
I think they just put it for us on Canvas. There's an ET job postings website, like a page on Canvas.
So basically, it's just an announcement.
Yeah, and a nice thing from experience that I had is networking. People do help you a lot with that. Yeah, you can just get a job through, a friend of yours that works there. Networking is a thing.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Let's hope it's not nepotism, but it is.
I mean, I suppose you could call it nepotism of some sort. But I have heard of this before, and there has been, I think, Kai Kojima. He has been on the podcast before, and he actually talked about his many, many jobs that he had at UT. So, yeah, nepotism.
Yeah, it is. Once you get in there, you do get approached by, and you once you get it,
getting in is the difficult part.
Yeah, but once you get in there, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I am wondering, you seem to have done a lot of activities, and you are active in an association, well, more this year, and you also did honors. You were part of GreenHub. You are in the Quality Assurance Committee.
Yeah.
How do you balance the demands of your study load with your extracurriculars and also your other responsibilities? Because I know mechanical is a difficult study.
Yeah. I got this question a couple of times, also from friends of mine that's maybe a year younger or something, and it depends on your personality, I guess. I mean, to each their own in a sense. You could go on about do time management, do this, do that, but at the end of the day, it just depends on what you want to do and if you like what you want to do and if you're capable of doing it. There's not one, golden rule that will help you through it all. Maybe setting your priorities and managing your time. Those are the two kind of best things that you would do. Also being realistic, I think, is really important. How did I? Yeah.
It just came naturally.
I wouldn't say it came naturally. I mean, it's also maybe the circumstances, right? As an international student, especially if you're non-European, for example, my personal case, studying here is very expensive, right? I'm very grateful for my parents supporting me and doing that. So I kind of had the mindset from day one that, okay, I'm here doing this study for 3 years. And it's a kind of like a very limited opportunity. I'm very lucky to have it. I'm very privileged to be here. So I have to make the most out of it. So what can I do to, kind of reap the rewards of it? So that's how I approached it, right? For studying, it was always my number one priority. I have to focus on my studies. I have to, prepare for those tests and do this, do that. So that's what I did. My next priority was how can I earn money to save if I want to do a master's, just in general to enjoy my life. So I started working as a TA. And this also goes hand in hand with your study because you TA courses that you've learned. So you get to learn more, you get to experience more, you get to have a better understanding. So that was my second priority. And then in my last year, that's when I branched out a lot more because the first half was the minor. And this last half, there was module 11 where we had a bit of courses. It was very challenging. But then module 12, you also have your thesis, so you don't have courses as much, and you focus on that. So last year is where I invested a lot into doing other stuff. And that's maybe the thing that I could say is that your third year would be nice, given that you finished everything nominally in the first two.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific? So it can be a story, it can be a tip or anything that you would like to tell people about.
A tip for the students, first year students or just in general, activism. Just activism in your student life. It is also it was also a thing that I told other UT, like the other scholarship holders, because they didn't do their bachelor's here. So I was asked, what tip can you give them? And it is activism. It is very, very important. I dare to say it's even as important as your studies. Think of it in any way. You as an employer, would you employ someone who only is good at their studies or someone who did their studies and is also very active, knows how to deal with people, has a lot of experience outside of studying and being a bookworm or whatever? And it's a way to earn money if you're active in like jobs and stuff like that. So that's nice. It expands your network, which is really important. I think also we had it in the honors, right? One of our teachers mentioned that Dutch work culture is heavily based on networking.
Yes.
Right? Remember in module 5, I think.
Yes.
So networking is important. Your connections will help you later on. It is a way to develop outside of your study. So I think it's a way to make friends. It's a way to enjoy a social life. So just activism. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay. We've been talking about activism. Let's just make a quick definition of what it is, just so people understand completely. From what I understood, it also concerns jobs, and it also concerns like associations.
That's my view of it. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe someone out there will think so.
I lived under the impression that activism only concerns stuff that you do like for no money.
Yeah.
Like for example, are you getting paid to be on GreenHub?
GreenHub was a job.
GreenHub was a job.
Yes.
Okay. So suppose you are in an association about sustainability, but you're not getting paid. I thought that was activism.
Well, Hippocampus, you don't get paid. You do a board year. Well, okay.
And for a cause like I don't know, poor people or
a voluntary
like
work.
A voluntary work. That's the one. Thank you.
I think this. Yeah, maybe not activism. Maybe rather.
No, let's just say it. I think I was just mixing up activism with voluntary work. My bad.
No, I think I mixed it up because activism is also sometimes understood as protesting or doing stuff like that.
Also,
maybe I meant to make it more general is to invest your time into extracurriculars, be it as it may. Doing side projects on your own, working part-time, joining an association, being bored in an association. Yeah, don't the uni offers crazy opportunities to do things also for very cheap. Like take the courses Dutch that you signed for, right? As an example, I think as a student we pay for it like 25 euros.
25, yes.
Yeah, if you're not a student, you pay for that like 450 plus.
Yes.
It is crazy. So take this metric and apply it to other opportunities that you can do here at the uni, and also there's a thing for everyone. So what we have like more than 160 associations or something like that. It's a crazy
I don't
amount.
think we can count.
Yeah, it ranges everything. There's sports, culture, everything. So yeah, of course, student associations. So do your extracurriculars. That's what's important. That's also later on what alleviates your CV and makes it special in comparison with other applicants.
True. That is really true. Actually, you are right about the huge number of associations that we have. And honestly, the purpose of this podcast is to help students enhance their study journeys and present the opportunities on campus. Because, for example, recently, and this is a hint for a future episode, I found out that we have an association for investing, like stock investing.
Yeah, I had a friend there.
I have been here for 2 years, at least, right?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I think it's called the Dutch Student Fund, something like that.
No, it actually, I don't know, it has a name starting with D.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah,
DI, something like that.
Yeah. Basically, I think that's like a really good skill to have, right? To be able to invest. Like a lot of people like learn by themselves, and sometimes it's very difficult for them. So just like being in an association, you get to meet people, you get to learn that. I don't know.
I don't want to spoil the next episode for you, but I had a friend on there. It is very interesting. Yes. Yeah.
That's why we are hoping to make them available for everyone. Today I talked to that person that will be invited on the podcast, and they were telling me how the association is mostly for now targeted towards IBA students.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why it's not also promoted in other studies, like a lot more, like.
If we're talking about the same thing, my friend he was doing mechanical, so maybe the promotion wise was targeted towards IBA students.
Yeah,
maybe
that's the case.
Yeah. But I agree, it should be for everyone, right? Investing is a skill for everyone, not just. Yeah. I would wish to go in it, but I don't have the time.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Youssef.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really, really nice to have this conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad. I liked it a lot as well.